Almost everyone knows about the internet. More than a billion people around the world are now online. The internet is a very powerful tool for information and communication. The basic concept of internet was first wrote in the early 1960s. The internet was created in the US in 1960s as a tool to link the university and government research centers via a nationwide network that would allow a wide variety of computers to exchange information and share resources. There were numerous engineering challenges, beginning with the design of the packet switch network, a system that could make computers communicate with each other without the need for a traditional central system. Others included the design of the machine's data exchange protocols and software to run it. What eventually grew out of these efforts is a miraculous low-cost technology that is swiftly and dramatically changing the world. It is available to people at home, in schools and universities, and in public libraries and cyber cafes. It began as a military research network designed to be decentralized or spread out over many locations. If one location was attacked, the military could communicate from another location. The first small network went online in 1969. It connected 4 universities in the United States. This network was very successful from the beginning. Scientists could now share information about their research. The internet is not owned or controlled by any organization, corporation or nation. It connects people in 65 countries instantaneously through computers, fiber optics, satellites and phone lines. It is changing cultural pattern, business practice, the consumer industry and research and educational pursuits. It helps people keep up to date on world events, find a restaurant in a foreign city or a cheap flight to Paris, play games and discuss everything from apples to zoology. It has gathered support for human rights in suppressed nations, saved the life of a child in Beijing, and helped a man in law find a lost family member in Brazil. Leonard Kleinrock invented the technology of the internet in 1962 while he was a university student, the packet switching technology he proposed was a dramatic improvement over the circuit shift telephone network. Packet switching chops message into the packets and sends these packets of data independently through the network as if they are electronic letters passing through an electronic post office. In 1963, a man named G.C.R. Licklider visualized a network that would connect nations and people worldwide. This network, which formed the foundation of the internet, was made public in California in 1969. Universities and research organizations were among the first to join the network in order to exchange information. Electronic mail was introduced in 1972 by Ray Tomlinson. More networks began to pop up in the 1980s. Commercial organizations, which fell outside the original character, wanted to use the same packet switch technologies, and the system came to be known as the Internet during this period. It had far exceeded its original purpose and was providing the stimulus for a vast technological revolution that was just ahead. By the end of that year, the network connected many universities and government research centers. The general public became aware of the network in late 80s. Major innovation in software were necessary before the internet could function as a global information utility. In 1989, Tim Berners-Lee, a scientist in Geneva, proposed a project that would provide information worldwide called the World Wide Web. Simple tools to retrieve information from the web and communicate would be the focus of much activity in the next few years. A new version allowed anyone to get online. People from all over the world joined online groups to talk about thousands of different subjects. The term Internet was used for the first time in 1982. New technology had created a common language for the network computers. The Internet was now recognized as an international network. This was also at the time when privacy and security started becoming important issues. Hackers and viruses began to emerge. In 1990, the original military network went offline, and a year later, the World Wide Web was born. The World Wide Web is in fact a browser for the Internet, a kind of software programs that allows users to access and navigate within information on the net. With the introduction of the World Wide Web, the development of the Internet accelerated at a rapid pace. The first computer code of the web was created in 1991, allowing programmers to combine words, pictures, and sound on web pages. In the early 90s, the first search engine Gopher and the first web browser Mosaic were developed, allowing easier and simpler access to the net. In the spring of 1993, a group of graduate students, led by 21-year-old Mark Anderson, created a browser program called Mosaic and distributed it free. NetSpace and then Microsoft followed with browser that gradually simplified a computer user's ability to surf the Internet in search. Traffic on the Internet started growing at the annual rate of approximately 330,000%. Today people can search thousands of databases and libraries worldwide in several languages, browse through hundreds of millions of documents, journals, books, and computer programs, and keep up to the minute with wire, service news, sports, and beyond convenience. As people consider the philosophical ramification of the Internet, some view it as a tool of unity and democratization. In the 1960s, long before the Internet, futurist and author Sir Arthur C. Clarke predicted that by 2000 a vast electronic global library would be developed. Recently, a judge cited it as the single most important advancement to freedom of speech. Marshall McLuhan coined the phrase "the global village" when he spoke of how radio and television had transformed the world in the course of the 20th century. In the 21st century, it seems the Internet is destined to have even more profound effects. The Internet has changed business, education, government, healthcare, and even the way in which we interact with our loved ones. It has become one of the key drivers of social evolution. The changes in social communication are of particular significance. Although analog tools still have their place in some sectors, new technologies are continuing to gain ground every day, transforming our communication practice and possibilities. Particularly among younger people, the Internet has removed all communication barriers. Online, the conventional constraint of space and time disappear, and there is the dazzling wide range of communicative possibilities. The impact of social media application has triggered discussion of the new communication democracy.